Liechtenstein, my 65th country. So you can see Switzerland behind me. I've literally just walked across the River Rhine and now I am in Liechtenstein, which is one of the smallest countries in the world, but it is a UN recognised completely independent country, so this is my 65th country that I visited. Now I don't know that much about Liechtenstein apart from it's one of the smallest countries in the world. It is landlocked between Switzerland and Austria. It's also actually one of the only two double landlocked countries in the world. If you can think of the second one, write it down in the comments. And I think it's the richest country in Europe by GDP per capita, but I think that's largely because it has such a small population. I also know that you can walk around the whole of Liechtenstein in 3 days. It seems like it should be less when you look at how small it is, but it's actually very mountainous. I'm just walking past some mountains now. The capital city of Liechtenstein is Vaduz, which is where I'm walking to now, and Liechtenstein's National Day is today, August the 15th. This isn't the reason why I came to Liechtenstein originally. I was planning on coming here anyway, and it just so happened that the day I was thinking of going was Liechtenstein's National Day. So that made me think, definitely gonna go and see what it's all about. Rumour has it that on Liechtenstein's National Day, they have a party at Vaduz Castle, and the prince basically funds everyone to have free beer and food, and he sort of comes and meets everyone. But I'm really not sure what to expect. I've not actually done any research. I quite literally got the train. Well, I got the train to Sargans in Switzerland and then a train to Buchs, and I left my luggage in Buchs and I've walked here, but hopefully by the time I leave I will know a little bit more about this country. Alright, I am coming into Vaduz now. I did read that the castle is currently closed, and there are cranes and there's scaffolding like in front of it. I can see it right in front of me now. But I think that's normally where like the event is, so I don't know if it's in a different place this year or if it's still going on despite the closures. But I'm gonna walk into the centre. I'm pretty sure all the museums are free on National Day, so I'm gonna find the History Museum, I think, and have a walk around and hopefully learn a bit more about the country and find someone to ask about where the actual like events are. So all museums in Liechtenstein are free today. So you can just come in and walk around. There are still people working here who sort of direct you, but you don't need to buy any tickets. So I'm just in the National Museum now. This does cover Liechtenstein's history, but there isn't much in English, so I might have to use my not very good German skills to try and deduct some information. I did do German at school. I did get an A at GCSE, but I can't remember much of it at all. I recognise a lot of words, so I might be able to understand some stuff. Oh my goodness. There is a statue just behind this door and it just gave me the fright of my life. Fun fact, when I was a kid, I was terrified of statues. That was the one thing I was really, really scared of. And I still get it a little bit sometimes. I still think they're going to burst into life. So this is a map of the whole country. And Vaduz is here. And then where I was in Switzerland is pretty much just about here, I think. So there's still quite a lot more in this country. So the lady at the tourist information office told me that there is stuff going on at the castle, so I am walking up there now, but it is a long steep old path to the castle, and the sun has now come out, so it is very warm, but hopefully when I get there will be some nice festivities and maybe a place to chill out for like 20 minutes. So I've made it to the top of the castle. That was incredibly sweaty, and I'm at the top now. So it looks like I did miss the parade, which is a shame. I think it started at 11:30, and yeah, I got here at 12:30, so it doesn't like I missed that, which is a bit of a shame, although I'm not too sure. It might have just been a talk. There are lots of people wearing traditional outfits, which led me to believe there was some kind of parade or something, but I may have missed that. There's a reception event going on at the bottom of the hill, but it looks very exclusive. I think it's only for Liechtenstein nationals only. So I'm just sitting sort of above. I'm just having a little rest in the shade, to be honest. I got some water and some a fizzy drink, which that's all free. Because it's National Day. I didn't really fancy beer, but I did hear on the grapevine that you get free beer on National Day, which yeah, haven't seen anywhere any beer being offered anywhere. But I'm not too bothered because I don't think I'd want a beer anyway. But I think I'm going to walk around the castle and then I'll probably head back down, because I think at 2 o'clock that's kind of when all the celebrations kick off in Vaduz Centre. So all of the celebrations seem to be taking place around here, but I think that it's only for like Liechtenstein Nationals. I thought also, while I'm sitting here, I'd impart a few more facts about Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein became a sovereign state in 1806, although from 1815 to 1866 it was a member of the German Confederation, but after that it became its own state once again. It briefly had a customs treaty with Austria in the late 19th and early 20th century, but that was abolished I think in 1919, and then it made a customs treaty with Switzerland, and it's also in the European Economic Area. It actually has a lot of industry, surprisingly, and this I actually did learn this in the museum because they had a temporary exhibition about Liechtenstein's industries, and it exports a lot. And there was a sign that basically said, do you drive, do you go to the movies, do you see the dentist? If so, you probably use products from Liechtenstein. So they do have big sort of manufacturing industries here, and their export ratio is huge because they only have a population of 34,000. So that's quite interesting. Geographically, it's 160 square kilometres, I think, the country, which does make it one of the world's smallest. I read 2/3 of it are covered by mountains. So the mountains that I can see behind me, I mean, they're obviously very synonymous with Liechtenstein. I entered in the flat part, so yeah, it was quite an easy walk to get here from Buchs, but definitely if I wanted to go any further, if I wanted to go into Austria, I'd have to conquer some pretty high mountains. I think I read the lowest point of Liechtenstein is about 400 meters and the highest point is about 2,500 meters. So for such a small country there is a huge array of elevations. Liechtenstein National Day has been on this day since August the 15th, 1940. Obviously that was like the 1st August of the Second World War, because it broke out in 1939 in September. Hitler said that small countries have no right to exist, basically, and I think, you know, he was looking to invade Liechtenstein, and I mean looking to invade most of Europe. So Liechtenstein kind of started doing their National Day as a day of defiance, like they started it during wartime as a kind of defiant move. Been celebrated ever since then, but the country of Liechtenstein dates back to the early 19th century. Just a side note, I was very impressed by this accessible portaloo, which I'd never seen before anywhere else. So it has space for a wheelchair and it also has level access, which makes it an accessible portaloo, which is really good. I don't think I've seen those before, so other countries take note of what Liechtenstein is doing. Right, I'm gonna walk back down to Vaduz now, because I think things are pretty much wrapped up here, and hopefully there'll be some stuff going on down in the city centre. It is incredibly warm. I just stopped at a restaurant to have some lunch. I was gonna buy something from the street food stalls, but nothing looked particularly appealing, or if it did look appealing, it was quite expensive. So I stopped off at a small Italian restaurant to have an Aperol Spritz and this like pizza sandwich thing, which was quite tasty. That cost me 21 Swiss francs still. So in Liechtenstein they do still use Swiss francs, which threw me a bit because I thought they used euros. I don't know why, I just presumed they used euros, which I shouldn't have presumed. walking by the Rhine. Oh, so these festivities in Vaduz, they carry on until 10 p.m. and then at 10 p.m. they have a big fireworks display, which is like, you know, sort of the finale of the day. But I'm getting pretty tired, and the music and everything is really, really cool, but when I'm on my own I'm not gonna hang around and drink loads or anything, so I thought I'd head back. I'm walking back again, trying to walk a lot today, obviously. Still in Liechtenstein. One other thing I wanted to say is it is so beautiful. Like, it's the mountains. I didn't know much about the country before today. I still don't know that much about it, but I don't know what I was expecting, but I really wasn't expecting it to just be the city and then straight away mountains. Like, it's really, really beautiful. Police just waved at me. I think the police thought I was waving at him and he just waved at me back. That was nice of him. I don't know why. I didn't necessarily think it was flat, because I know that Austria's mountainous and Switzerland's mountainous, but I think just because I had, you know, I knew it's such a small country, I just had it in my head that it didn't have mountains, but obviously it's going to have mountains. But alright, I'm just about to leave Liechtenstein, and just to show you how easy this border crossing is, I thought I would just witter on about something rather as I literally cross the border. I'm just going to take a little video of the flags up here. So I'm in Liechtenstein and I'm just about to set foot on the bridge, so I guess now I am in no man's land. And yeah, this is, like, for me as a European but not a continental European, this is still a bit of a novelty, because I mean in the UK we can't just walk across the border, obviously we do have to go over the sea, but obviously, like, very easy to holiday in Europe being in the UK, so I did a lot of holidays when I was younger in Europe, so I do know how easy these border crossings can be. But I think when you literally actually do it and you literally just walk across, it feels a bit surreal almost. I don't know how to describe it really. It was really interesting when I was in Basel visiting my friend one time, not this time, the time when I visited her before. We literally rented bikes and we drove into France and into Germany on the same day. And I just find it really interesting. I find borders fascinating and I find the whole concept of them very interesting, but I also find it fascinating when borders can be really fluid like this. I'm still wittering on. This whole clip is really to show you how quick this border crossing is. I am nearly back in Switzerland, so don't worry, I won't be wittering on for too much longer. What else can I talk about? So in front of me there's the Swiss flag, along with, I think, the flag of the canton and potentially even the flag of the town. They have lots of different flags in Switzerland and they're very they show all of their flags quite a lot. I mean, we have flags for different counties in the UK, but apart from Cornwall and Devon you don't really see them. Right, I'm stepping into Switzerland. I am back in Switzerland. Alright, one last look at Liechtenstein on the other side of the River Rhine, and now I'm gonna head back to Buchs. I will probably pick up the camera once I've checked into my hotel. Alright, it is quite a few hours later and I am back in Switzerland, back in Buchs. Yeah, no, it was good today. It was nice to get to another country, country number 65, which was great. It's getting a bit addictive now as I'm sort of getting to, not really close to 100 countries, but as I'm going to more countries, I'm like, oh, maybe I could get to 100 countries in the next few years. We shall see. But yeah, it was a good day. I had read somewhere that on Liechtenstein's National Day, you have there's like a party at the palace going on all day, and the prince gives out, not gives out, but there's loads of like free beer. That didn't seem to be happening. I don't know whether it used to happen, maybe it's a cost of living crisis thing, but yeah, there's not really free beer anymore, or I may have missed it may have been earlier, but there did seem to be some kind of reception that you could only get into if you were if you'd bought a ticket not bought a ticket, if you'd reserved a free ticket, but I think only locals could reserve a free ticket. The bit where I was hanging out, there was free soft drinks. I was so tired. And I mean, the museums were free, and you get a free Liechtenstein stamp in your passport, which I did not get because my passport is definitely running out of space, so I definitely don't need any more stamps. But yeah, it was really good, really fun. Nice to see another country. The mountains are really beautiful, and I have walked 34,000 steps. I am knackered. I'm getting up quite early again tomorrow to take my train to Vienna, so I will cover all of that in the next video. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's shown you a little bit more what Liechtenstein has to offer and what it's like to see and explore. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye.